guys, Mike with teamIRONMAN. I just finished up one of my chest and back routines, and I wanted to make a quick video here to express something I thought was really important, and that would be modifying your moves. P90X is really intense, and that first month there's a lot of things that you just can't do or that I couldn't do, and I think it's really important to understand that it's okay not to be able to do everything the guys in the video is doing. I know Tony goes over that and he says that quite a bit, but I'm the kind of person I like to match what I'm seeing on the screen, and that first month it's just not possible. So there's 4 things I want to go over real quick just to give you some hints or tips about things that I did that helped me to be more successful when I went through P90X my first time. Number 1 would be modifying the push-ups. You know, that first round of chest and back is a killer, and then by the time you get to the second time you go through that first workout, if you know what I mean, you do all 12 moves and you go back and do them again. That second time you go through them is terrible. And so I had to modify a lot of my moves, and one way I did that was to number 1, you gotta have your push-up bars. Was I would do as many as I could, and then I would make sure that I would keep my knees on the ground, picking my feet up. And I would do is after I got to max reps or without knees on the ground, I would go to knees with feet up, and I would do as many as I could this way. Just do as many as I could. And then after I got to where I couldn't do those, I put my feet on the ground, and then it would give me a little bit, you know, just 2 or 3 more. One thing to remember, I think is really, really important, is to make sure that you use your push-up bars when you do this. You know, if I'm doing that knees on the ground and just with my hands, I go down and I come back up, and I don't feel like it stretches me across the chest very much. But if I use these, it gives me an extra 6 inches of depth, and I feel like it really gives me a little more push and a little more pull, you know, my chest. So I feel like I'm pulling myself, you know, a little bit better here, getting a better, kind of a deeper workout. And so outside of that, the one-handed push-ups are also killer. There's just no way, you know, by the time I can do one-handed push-ups, you know, just if I'm doing them by myself or without the workout. But by the time you get to them in the workout, you're shot. And so that's another thing. Make sure you get your knees real wide, get the hand out front, and just modify that sucker until you get to where you can do, you know, 2 or 3 or whatever. Number 2 would be definitely modifying your pull-ups. That first month again is super hard. When you get to pull-ups, you know, there's no way to match them on the screen. I think I was able to do maybe 4 or 5, 6 pull-ups my first time through, and that was max. That wasn't wide grip. That was just regular underhand pull-ups. And now I can probably do over 30, and so it comes pretty fast. But that first month, you know, I got to the point, it's frustrating because you want to do 10 or 15 like they're doing, and you just can't do it. So one thing that I did is we got this pull-up bar, and it come assembled for us. We got lucky with that. But it has a real nice little foot stand on the bottom. So when I would get to a rep that I just couldn't do anymore, I would make sure I put my foot on that bar, and I would push up just as little as possible. Maybe, you know, if I was able to do only 5, I would do another 5. I would set a goal that every time I put my foot on that bar, that means I have to do 5 more. And so I put my foot on the bar and barely push up, just enough to get my chin over the bar and come back down. You know, if you don't have a nice or a pull-up bar like this, then whatever you got, just put a chair under it. Beachbody also, you know, Beachbody also sells a pull-up max that you can use. It's just like a rubber band thing, but I think it's about 65 bucks. You know, now it's not really practical for me. I didn't feel like I needed it. I like to just struggle it through. Like I was saying about the chair, you can do the same thing with the chair. I highly recommend it. You know, don't get to failure at 5 and just quit. You know, use your foot and do another additional 5 or 6. Just make sure that you get a good, solid workout in. My third thing I wanted to modify or to show you that I did was dumbbells. I have a set of Bowflex Select Tech 1090s, and if you'll notice right here, this is 15 pounds. It doesn't look, I mean, if you just looked at that, it looked like you got 40 pounds. And so it's a big dumbbell, and that's one of the disadvantages of it. I think that maybe they have a 552, and the 552 is maybe a little bit smaller, but anyway, I got the big ones, and I wish that I had not had them now. But one thing that I have a problem with on some of the moves is Tony, he puts his hands out like this, and I have a real difficult time because my hands are so wide. And so some of the curls I have to actually start here instead of being out here. The crouching Cohen curls or whatever they're called is another one. When you come down like this, they're just so wide that it's hard for me to get my elbows into my knees and be able to pick them up at the same time. So one thing I would do is maybe just do one at a time, you know, modify it that way. Or I would just try to get a real wide stance and kind of, I guess, stretch my groin out a little bit more and just do both at the same time. I don't particularly like stretching out that much, but that was just one of the options that I could do. Finally, I would say that you have to modify the abs. The abs are a huge problem, or ab ripper X. that first month, like I said, is terrible. I don't think I completed average reps till almost the entire workout to almost day 60 or so. So what I did on that first month, that I would set a goal, excuse me, that I would try to get maybe try to get like 15 of the moves each time. And then the next 30 days, I would say I'm going to bump it up to 20 moves. And I would try every now and then to get 1 to 25 reps. I mean, and then on that last 30 days, I was able to start hitting it and meeting the entire workout. But you know, one thing to do is remember, just don't get frustrated. That sucker's hard. If you get through that first month of it, you're far more likely to complete it. That first month is just killer. And you have to remember that you're not trying to match these guys in the video. You're just trying to, you know, anything that you do is better than sitting on the couch. And so every time you press play, every time you do anything, you're basically lapping all those dudes sitting on the couch watching TV. So remember that. Make sure you modify your moves. You know, I'm not the fittest dude in the book or anything. I've been actually been trying to bulk, and I put on a little bit extra body fat. But I've definitely come a long way. You can check out, actually in the description below, I'll put my transformation video so you can check that out if you care to. But I guess just, you know, like I said, remember, modify the moves and just keep pressing play, do the best you can. You'll eventually reach your goals. Just do what you can. Thanks for watching, and please post comments or questions, anything you have like that below.